Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Makeup Together, How to Make a Simple Dinner. It is Friday night and we are stepping out of our usual hot dogs and french fries, and I'm going to try something different. So if you know me, well, you know that my favorite food of all time is meatloaf. I could probably eat meatloaf every single night with a different side and I would be perfectly fine. But it's here we make it on occasions, which is good, to save it for those times. But tonight I wanted to try something new. So tonight we are going to be making some meatloaf cheese stuffed burgers, and we're going to be making some garlicky seasoned fries to go along with it. So trying to switch it up a little bit. I'm really excited to see how this came out. I didn't find a recipe. I didn't really look one up either for the meatloaf burgers. I'm just gonna kind of make it with what I have at home, and I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So I'm gonna go ahead and prepare all the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting everything in. I'm going to just start off with all the spices. We're going to add some salt. This might look like a lot, but the holes in this thing are tiny and there's really not that much coming out. Alright, then I'm going to be adding some black pepper. Alright, a little bit of paprika. And I'm going to be adding some oregano leaves. Alright, onion powder. Some garlic powder. And what is a good meatloaf without some good barbecue sauce? I'm going to be using Williamson's Bros Barbecue. I chose this one because the ingredients were really good. There's 8 sugars in here, but other than that, there's no artificial ingredients, bay leaves, chili powder, garlic, salt, pepper. There's onion powder, ketchup, vinegar, water, sugar, a little bit, but these ingredients are really good. I would definitely recommend buying this brand, and it wasn't like $6 for a bottle. This was, I think it was on sale for like $2.99. Alright, so we got that in there. Also going to be adding some ketchup. I get the Simple Truth Organic from Kroger. This does not have high fructose corn syrup. It's got all organic ingredients. So I would recommend that brand as well. Alright, so there's those. And then I'm also going to be adding in, I have some purple onion and some garlic. And so your hands will get dirty in this. So just be prepared. I guess you could use a spoon, but I've always done it with my hands. So always make sure that you wash your hands before you touch other people's food. So I have all the ingredients now, and now I'm going to go ahead and start mixing it all in. And if you know me, you know that I don't like getting my hands dirty, so this isn't a pleasant experience. But must be done. So I'm just gonna mix everything in. This is about two and a half pounds of ground beef. I think it's 2.5. We just buy the really large one and then we mix it up. Or we mix it up. Then we cut it up, I'm sorry. And then we freeze it in like 1.5 pound chunks. Because unless we're making burgers or something else, we usually just use just one of them for like spaghetti or something else that we use ground beef for. And if you have some breadcrumbs, you can also put that in there. I didn't have any gluten-free breadcrumbs on hand, so I was like, that's fine, we'll just do it like this. So I'm mixing it in, trying to make sure that all the seasonings are in there, trying to see what else I might need to put in. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more salt because the salt was not coming out a lot, and I want to make sure that it's everywhere. So I'm going to rinse off my hands really quick. Ugh. You can't really rinse this off, so I'm going to have to use some soap. All right. I tell you what, clean hands feel so good. All right, so now my hands are clean. I'm gonna add in a little bit more salt. And then maybe just a little bit more of everything else, just to make sure. I have found in cooking ground beef, like you have to season it well, because if you don't, it can really be just flavorless. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more, not too much of this, because I don't want everything to be like really runny. And then I'm gonna save just, well, there's really only a tiny bit in there, but I'm gonna save that for the top. All right, going back in, mixing it up. And so we're not gonna be using the grill to make these. It's about to storm outside. I'm surprised it hasn't started yet. The sky has been black all day, and just, I can hear the thunder from my office. So we're not going to grill these outside. We're going to actually be cooking these in the oven. So I've never made burger patties in the oven, so we're going to just experiment with that. All right, so since I'm going to be having my hands dirty, well, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to let this sit first while I cut up the fries, and then we'll stuff them with cheese. That way it just kind of sits for a little bit. So I'm just going to pat that in there, and oh, there's ketchup in my hand. So yeah, I'm gonna let this sit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get everything set to go ahead and start cutting up the fries. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the fries. I'm going to start by oiling up my pan here, and then so I have 6 potatoes that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to just be making some potato fries. I'm going to start by cutting this into 4. Alright. That scared me. Get off my cutting board. Scary pan. Alright, and then after that I'm going to cut these long ways. Try to make these all the same size here. Alright, so here we have our fries. If you want them smaller, you can cut them skinnier from this way. I like them like that, the fat fries. And they're not like too big. Like, I don't like the steak fries, but these just are, they're the right size for me. But if you want them thinner, then you can cut them just more times when you're cutting it long ways. Like if I wanted them to be a little bit smaller, then maybe I would cut them like 5 instead of 6. I mean, instead of 4 like I'm doing now. And so this one was a bit of a longer potato, so there we go. I just had to cut that one because it was a little awkward shaped. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut up the rest of these potatoes. So I got them all cut here. I'm going to just kind of spread them around, and I'm going to go ahead and get the olive oil on them and go ahead and season them. So I'm going to be adding a lot of the same stuff that was into our burgers. So we have onion powder. I'm actually not going to put oregano on it. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of paprika. And then I'll give them a nice little flavor there. Alright, and then I'm just going to mix them up on here, make sure all of them are evenly coated and seasoned. Alright, sounds like a stampede going through the kitchen. Alright, so we got all these out. I'm going to make them as even as I can on the pan to make sure that they're cooking evenly. These look so good, and they already smell good. They're not even cooked yet. I like the seasoned fries like this versus just like salt and pepper. I like it when they got a lot on there. All right, so we got those going. I'm gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 400 is what we're gonna be cooking all this on. So 400, and we're gonna go ahead and start making the burger patties. So I have never made stuffed burgers before, so we're gonna see how this is gonna go. So I went ahead and grated some cheese at the very beginning so that way it would be a little bit softer and not kind of hard when it gets out of the refrigerator. So let's just see. So I'm gonna put it on this pan since we're gonna make them in the oven. I'm gonna just kind of smush it a little bit here. Just making sure that everything has seasoning. Okay, so then let's see. So I'm going to take, what would be the best way to do this? I guess I'm gonna just do that, and I'm still learning, so I am literally, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna try. So I know that I want them to be kind of flat like that, but I just want there to be cheese in it. So that's probably pepper, but it looked weird. So if I want it to be kind of thin like that, then maybe I should just put the cheese and then put like another layer, because that would be too thin. So maybe I just take some of the cheese, put it right here. It was so simple in my mind. So maybe we just put it right there, because I knew that it was going to be more like in the middle than anything. And then if I just take that and just smush it on top. Hey guys, I think that's going to work, because then it's not too thin, or it's not too thick, and it's not too thin of a burger. So yeah. Okay, well, there we go. So I guess let me just do that again like a professional. All right, so I just took a little bit of meat, like a mini burger, I suppose. And then, so mini burger, put the cheese in the middle. And if I have to grate some more cheese, I will. Because we don't skimp on cheese around here. Alright, so I'll put that right there, and then just get like a, almost like a little top layer, I suppose. And then I'm going to just put it on the top there, so that way the cheese is in the middle. And then just try to make it like a burger patty shape. And try to make them like all the same thickness. Okay, I think that's gonna work. So far these are good. They're not runny with the barbecue sauce and the ketchup in them. So that is good. And the cheese is actually going in quite simply. I think this is gonna be a successful food experiment night. Oh man, I'm excited. All right, well, I am going to continue doing these, and then we're gonna let them cook. So I got the oven on 400. So normally when I do the home fries, I put them on 450, but the burgers are going to need less temperature, and the internal temperature of these needs to be 160. So we're gonna cook them on that lower temperature, because I don't want to burn them or make the burgers dried out. That's where I was going with saying that. I kind of got a little distracted. All right. And the cheese looks like it's going in pretty well, which is exactly what I wanted. Now we'll just have to figure out how to get them all on the pan. So let's go ahead and finish that up. So I have all the burger patties made. I thought I was going to run out of room, but I didn't. And so I just took there was a little bit of cheese left, and then some ketchup and some of the barbecue sauce, and I just mixed it up. And I'm going to use my paintbrush kitchen tool, and I'm just going to brush some on the top of these, just so they'll have a little something extra. And I couldn't reuse that cheese because I had stuck my burger fingers in there. So I was like, well, what do I do with them? So we're just going to put this on top. It'll kind of give it that more meatloaf feel because you always have the sauce on the top of the meatloaf. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. The oven is done preheating. So as soon as I'm done with these, I'm going to throw them in there, and those will cook on 400 for 20 minutes. And it might need some more time. I'm not entirely sure yet. I am thinking that at least the fries are gonna need some more time. So we'll see how that goes. All right, and I have just enough for the last one. I love it when that happens. All right, so got all the sauce out of there. And these are ready to go. So I'm really happy with how these are looking so far. So I'm hoping that after the cooking, everything will be perfect. All right, guys, well, that concludes today's episode. Be sure to check out my Instagram to see how everything turned out. I'll give my honest opinion of how everything tasted. So the burgers have about another 5 more minutes, and I'm going to take them out and get started with them. So they look good. They stayed in their burger patty form, and everything smells delicious. So be sure to check out my Instagram to see what it looked like and just my review on it. If you make this recipe, please let me know. I'd be glad to share with others. I can post it on Instagram. And I really just want to start getting like a community feel. Like it's not just me doing these cooking videos, but it's us kind of, you know, going back and forth. I love hearing feedback. I love hearing about if you tried the recipes. So please just let me know if you have any recipes that you would like me to try in the future. Please let me know because I'd like to try those out as well. So thank you very much once again for watching. Thank you so much to those who have subscribed and liked and commented. I really appreciate it. So appreciate it. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.